Welcome to Zeiss CALIGO. In this video, we'll configure our simulation environment, import the RefTool, which is the tool name for the master probe in CALIGO, import a stylus system for tactile measurements, import the EagleEye sensor for optical measurements, learn how to move the CMM in the simulation environment, and also how to reposition your part in simulation to match where it would be located on the actual plate of the CMM. Before getting started, you will want to be sure that you have installed CALIGO on your computer, activated your trial license, and have configured your measuring device. If you want to try Zeiss CALIGO, take a look at the description below. There, you'll find links to download the software, request a free trial, and download training data. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's hop in the software. We will begin at the Start screen, which appears right after you launch CALIGO. The first thing that we want to confirm is that we have our CMM configured and connected in simulation. We can do that by going to Tools, Settings, CMMs, and coming to the CALIGO that we created in the previous video. We want to make sure we have the checkbox ticked for both, connected at System Start and Simulation of the controller. If one of these was not ticked, you'll want to ensure both are ticked, then restart the CALIGO. Restarting the software is necessary if there are any changes in the controller configuration. With the restart of CALIGO, we're ready to dive into configuring our simulation environment. I'll first begin by just opening up the CALIGO training session that was included in the training data. Now that the measurement plan is open, we'll start out by displaying the CMM model in the CAD window. This can be done by selecting Display of the CMM model in the Simulation drop-down menu above the main toolbar, or by selecting the icon of a CMM in the main toolbar. Now, zooming out, we'll want to focus more on the CMM column. As you see, we don't have any stylus system or sensor attached to the carrier. Our first task will be to import the RefTool and attach to our CMM model. Remember, RefTool is the tool name for the master probe in CALIGO and is primarily used for qualifying the CMM. To import the RefTool in simulation, we will come to our controller window and click the icon for stylus qualification, which is this icon with the X and probe next to the qualification status bar. Clicking this will give you the option to import a stylus system for the RefTool. We'll select Yes here. The definition allows us to select a model to import for our stylus system. Since we are using a DSC sensor carrier, we'll select the DSC/RefTool stylus system and then select Import Now. Once that has been imported, we see the master probe mounted on our simulation model of the CMM. Now, we can go through some of the simulation keyboard controls. In order to move the CMM, you want to come to the tip of the stylus and click and hold the left mouse button. This will allow you to move the CMM in all directions. You can move in a single axis direction by holding the X, Y, or Z buttons down while click and holding the left mouse button. Selecting the probe tip while holding the A key and moving the mouse back and forth will rotate the stylus system in the A axis on the controller in simulation. If this is done by holding the B key down instead, the B axis will be rotated. Then we'll see when we import the EagleEye later that we'll have an additional C axis to rotate the head of the sensor. And holding C key down while holding the left mouse button will rotate the head of the EagleEye. Another useful keyboard command to use while working in simulation is controlling our CMM speed when running in CNC mode. The speed of the CMM can be adjusted by clicking the page up key to increase the speed and the page down key to decrease the speed. Now that we got the controls down for moving our CMM in the simulation environment, we'll go ahead and import the stylus system that we'll use for tactile measurements. This will be a stylus system with a 200mm extension with a RSTP sensor. The first step is to manually drop off the master probe, which is our tool named RefTool. This can be done by going to our controller window and clicking on the icon with the arrow and the probe. Now that the master probe is released, we see that the arrow is pointing up for the icon, and we will want to click it to manually insert a new stylus system. In this window, you will be able to select from any existing stylus systems, but since we don't have any, we'll select Create Stylus. To select the model for our new stylus system, we will want to click the icon with the 3 dots to the right of definition, and then select the RST_200.SSC that was provided in the training data and click Open. Now that we have it in, we'll want to change the tool name. The text field for target will define the name of the tool for each stylus in our stylus system. In our case, we just have one. We will delete the existing text and type in 200_1. To make sure that it is displayed in simulation correctly, we can select Mount Probe After Import and then select the Import Now button. We can see our 200_1 tool is selected in our controller window and also see it attached to our CMM in the CAD view window, which means it was successfully imported and we are ready to move on to importing the EagleEye. The process for importing the EagleEye sensor will be very similar to how we imported our stylus system for measurements. The first step will be to manually release the 200_1 by clicking on the icon with the arrow and probe in our controller window. Then, clicking the icon again to manually insert a new stylus system, then select the Create Stylus button. This time we will select EagleEye from the drop-down menu for definition. Then for the tool name for the EagleEye, delete the existing text for target and type in EE_1. Again, we'll want to select Mount Probe After Import to make sure that it shows up correctly, then select the Import Now button. After it has been imported, the EagleEye is attached to our CMM in the CAD view window. Now that we have all our probes here, we can switch between the sensors by selecting them from the drop-down menu for Tool in the controller window. This will allow us to quickly switch between whichever tool we need for our measurements. The next icon is going to be for stylus qualification. This icon will allow you to begin the process of qualifying your probes if you're on an actual CMM. But since we're in simulation, the probes are qualified automatically. In the controller window, you can also direct the CMM to go to specific coordinates by typing in the XYZ values and clicking the icon to the right of the values. This can also be done for specific angles by typing in values for the A, B, and if the EagleEye is attached, C angles and clicking the icon to the right of the values. Now that we have our CMM and sensors set up to use in simulation, we'll look at how to reposition a CAD model for a part to match its location on the actual plate of the CMM. This process is done by using the Measuring Environment Wizard, which is found in View Measuring Environment Wizard. This will allow you to reposition the CAD model to match how it is on the actual CMM by either grabbing the orb around the CAD model or by typing in specific values in the Measuring Environment window. With our CMM all configured in simulation, it'll bring us to an end for this video. Make sure to check out the next one where we'll look at how to configure our measuring templates in CALIGO in the next video. Thank you and happy measuring. And if you're looking for a more comprehensive training, check out the Zeiss CALIGO Basic Training. You'll find the link in the description below.